who is the Buddha and who can be the Buddha? Normally, when we refer to the Buddha, we tend to have the ideas of the Buddha statue in our head, right? And that Buddha statue referred to one person who attained enlightenment 2,600 years ago. And later on, he spread the teachings and became known as so-called Buddhism that we have today. So this is what people usually refer to as the Buddha. But what actually means the Buddha? The terms Buddha can refer to two things. Number one, a person, and number two, the state. So let's talk about the state first. The term Buddha literally translates as to know, to awake, to enlighten, or to realize. It's actually a state of the person after reaching the state of enlightenment. Let me take you back 2,600 years ago. Back in that time, there were a lot of practitioners who has been looking for spiritual attainment. There were many yogis, many ascetics, many types of monks, practice different kinds of methods in many places. All of them aim to reach one thing, and that is the truth, or the answer to life. When we are born, we have zero knowledge. We don't know why we are here. We don't know where we are from. We don't know where we're going to go. We don't know what is our purpose. What do we have to do? What is right and what is wrong? Whatever we know, learn later, but it might not be the absolute truth. So that's why all of these practitioners aim to reach one simple thing, and that is the absolute truth. That absolute truth is known as Dhamma or Dharma. So basically, everybody is looking for the Dhamma or the truth. Buddha was another person during that time trying to reach it. So by so-called reaching the enlightenment, the term Buddha means to enlighten that Dhamma, that absolute truth. And later on, he taught what he discovered to the others. So that's actually become known as the Buddha as a person. So since we know that the word Buddha refers to the terms to enlighten, to know, to awake, and to realize, why do we call the Buddha the enlightened one or the awakened one? Because it's the literal translation of the term Buddha, number one. Number two, because when he realized that truth, he awake, he woke up from the state of ignorance. He know what he needs to do in life. He realized that. So that's why it become awakening. Everybody can be in that state. Everybody can be in that state. But at least to reach the state of enlightenment or to be the Buddha, there are three different types. The first type is called Samma Sambuddha. And this is the person who reached the state of enlightenment on their own and teach others, which is the same as the Buddha that we know. The second one is different. It's called Pacceka Buddha. It's the silent Buddha, which refers to a person who reached the state of enlightenment on their own but do not teach others. The reason that they don't teach others is because in order for someone to become a Buddha, it takes many lifetimes of cultivation of practices until a person accumulates enough perfections to become the Buddha. But to be the Buddha who can teach requires a longer period of time to craft that teaching skills so that a person can disseminate the teachings and help others. So that's why there are a number of persons who realize that I have reached the state where I can enlighten on my own, but if I want to teach others, it would take more time. So they decided to end their task, end the journey, and pass into complete nirvana. The third one is called Anubuddha. Anubuddha refers to the person who reached enlightenment after receiving the teaching from others, whether from the other enlightened beings or enlightened person or the Buddha himself, and reach the state of enlightenment afterward. It's called Anubuddha or the Arahant. So these are the three kinds of state of Buddha that a person can reach, and basically anyone can reach it. Normally when we hear the word Buddha, it comes with another term called Bodhisattva. Bodhi means enlightened, while the word sattva means being. Together it means being the search for or looking for the state of enlightenment. Basically it can be anyone who's still trying to find a way, who's still trying to practice in order to reach the state of enlightenment. It can be anybody. So that's actually what it means by being bodhisattva. It takes lifetime after lifetime to continue the practice until one day from bodhisattva transform and enlighten into the Buddha. So that's what the process is all about. Who can be bodhisattva? It can be anybody. And eventually, everybody can be the Buddha as well. The reason because as we live in this called cycle of existence, the cycle of rebirth, it brings endless pain, endless suffering, endless sadness. When we are born, we get sick, we grow and we die. And we born again, we get sick, we grow and we die. And then we come back again, do the same thing again and again and again. So in order to end this vicious cycle of sufferings, it's about to end from its cause. And that is to end rebirth, or to resolve the state of rebirth and get out of this cycle of existence. So that's how we can really reach the state of enlightenment, to get out of this place. Everyone finally will reach that state, the state of passing into complete nirvana. Basically, that's why everybody can be the Buddha at one point. Now let's just talk about this particular Buddha. This Buddha is called Gautama Buddha. Gautama Buddha was a person who was born in the country Nepal today. He was born in Lumbini. His hometown was Kapilavastu. During that time, his mother wanted to give birth at her hometown, Therevada. So on the journey, he gave birth in the middle of the journey, in the place called Lumbini, which we still can visit it today. So the boy grew up, had education, had family, had kids. So all in all, he lived very comfortable for the first part of his life. But afterward, he started to witness something that we call four signs of reality. Number one, aging person. Number two, sick person. Number three, a dead person. And number four, a monk. So after witnessing the first three, he realized that this is the nature of life that everybody has to face. As a result of that, he started to feel depressed and sort of lost without any answer. When he found that there was a monk and he realized that is a researcher trying to find out the answer how to end aging, sickness, and death. So he realized that it became his task to do it on his own. That's why he left the palace at the age of 29 years old. He spent another 6 years practicing in different methods, including self-affliction or self-mortification, where he tortured himself to the extreme, but he could not find the answer. Until finally, at one night, he realized that in order to reach the state of enlightenment, it required to be in balance, the state of middle way. So that's when we sat down under the Bodhi tree in a place today called Bodh Gaya, which is in India today. So afterward, after he attained the state of enlightenment, he decided to teach others because he wanted to help people overcoming their suffering as well. That's why throughout the life, the Buddha said, I taught exactly two things. Number one, what is the nature of sufferings? Number two, how to eradicate that nature of sufferings. So this is actually what's going on as who is the Buddha and how to become a Buddha. If you started to realize that everybody can be the Buddha, including yourself, and you become more motivated enough, what it takes is that determination, perseverance of the practice. Because in order to be a Buddha, it's about improving ourselves day by day to cultivate the perfections. Each perfection is good habits, it's good character that we cultivated, from generosity, self-discipline, renunciations, truthfulness. There are many other things that is referred to this cultivation of positive habits or characters. When a person reaches the state of enlightenment, it's a state of the mind completely pure from negative contamination. And that is when the mind no longer generates any bad thoughts, negative words, and negative actions. Everybody can reach that state. Everybody can be the Buddha. What it takes is determination and perseverance.